Ayris, standing in on behalf of Sheffield City Council. And the other people that I'm missing is the Chamber of Commerce, who I was informed this morning had got 3 people lined up in a row, ready to speak to us, and they've all got flu. So I don't want to work at the Chamber of Commerce at the moment. I've got a bit of a plague in there at the moment. So apologies for not having the people who we thought we were going to have here, but believe me, at least we've got somebody, which yesterday morning when I went to Radio Sheffield, I wasn't even sure I was going to have anybody, to be honest. So thank you for our panellists, and as I say, I don't regard you as weak substitutes. I just, I just had to point out that you weren't the originals. The way that we're going to do this evening is we'll have some brief introductions. I'll say something a little bit about the forum and where we're at with regard to town centre strategy and things like that. And then I'm going to ask each of our speakers to speak for some 10-15 minutes each. And after that, we'll open it up to questions from the floor. What I want to do with the questions, if possible, is to group them in areas. So when we get to that part, I'll remind what those areas are. But I want to talk specifically about, first of all, economic investment, jobs, businesses. I want to talk about environmental investment, which could be street scene, it could be green spaces, it could be roads. And then I want to speak about social investment. I want to talk about things like housing, schools, doctors, all those kinds of areas of investment. Because Hillsborough, as we all know, is more than simply a shopping centre. Hillsborough is a community and has a range of needs that all require some degree of investment over the coming years. We aim to finish the meeting, or we'll have to finish the meeting certainly no later than 9 o'clock. And so, with no further ado, we'll kick off. I suppose the first thing to do, for those who don't know that much, I suppose, about Hillsborough Forum, is to just give you a little bit of background as to what we are and why we're here. The forum itself has been around since 2002, previously known as Hillsborough Older Neighbourhood Forum, or HOF, which is why we kind of changed it, because it always sounded like a bit of a cough and a clearing of your throat. And so we decided to change our name to Hillsborough Forum. This year we actually achieved charitable status, so we're a registered charity now, working in the town centre from Hillsborough Tabernacle Church. In terms of staff, there's myself and Wendy, and then we have an active board made up of local people, representatives of local groups, and then we also have volunteers involved in various projects that we're part of. And some of you are here tonight. There's Abby and there's Rob, who've done various bits of volunteering. There's people from the Retail Association who we help put together and run. And there's people who have been active in the residents forum as well. In 2006, before Wendy and I both arrived, the forum, after a lot of research and a lot of consultation locally, produced this document. Town Centre Strategy, a strategy for our Hillsborough Town Centre. And this document, which was drawn up by the then Town Centre manager and the team in the office at that time, that document has now moved on in terms of its wider adoption. And it's been adopted within the City Council, it's been adopted by Area Panel, it's been adopted by Sheffield First, which is the strategic partnership across Sheffield. And as such, it's been adopted throughout the council in many ways, and I know it's already been used by the likes of planning department to inform some of their thinking and some of their decisions, and we hope that it continues to be that kind of document. And because we hope it will continue to be that kind of document, we update it. Last year we updated it with this document called Quality and Community, and if you haven't had a chance to read these things and you want to read them, they're available on our website. They're there as downloads on the website, so feel free to have a look at them. And this year we're hoping to update it again, probably in April time. The board will look at the final paper with a second document, which is in draft form, which, perhaps not surprisingly given the title of this meeting, is called Investing in Hillsborough. And what we're hoping in many ways is that tonight's meeting and the questions that you raise from the floor, the concerns that you raise from the floor, and the answers that we hear from up here feed into all the information that we've gathered through retail meetings, through residents' forums, through the conversations that we have every day with a range of different agencies and a range of different people to inform that update of the strategy. So what does it say in the strategy at the moment in this year's kind of like draft update? What kind of things are we talking about? I think the first thing to say, which the forums felt consistently throughout all those different parts of the development of the strategy, is that to date the town centre strategy has concentrated on the retail sector and the retail part of Hillsborough. But there's also a recognition that actually Hillsborough Ward, as it now is a much larger community than simply the retail sector. And it's the development and the support and the regeneration, I hate that word, but I can't think of a better one, of that community. The bringing that community to a point where it gets the services, gets the environment, gets the economic boost that it needs at this stage of the 21st century, so that actually Hillsborough as a community can be what it always has been, which is a strong, vibrant district centre serving the whole of the northwest of Sheffield, where people feel happy to come and shop, but also come to learn, come to take part in leisure activities at the park, at the leisure centre, at the sports arena, wherever that may be, and also a place where people feel able to live and live happily, safely in a place that is an attractive, friendly community to live in. Now in the original document and in this year's update, we once again talk about the environment that we live in Hillsborough as being a crucial aspect of it. It was identified in the original strategy that the environment, the physical environment that people operate in, that people live in, work in, was actually a high priority for people in Hillsborough. And so we make no apology for putting the environment high up the agenda in the new update. But we're trying to, if you want, up the ante a little bit this time around, I think. And we're trying to say that really what Hillsborough needs now is it needs to be able to get to a stage where it starts to feel like there is some thought process, some master plan as to how things start to fit together. We've got the new SDF within planning, the Strategic Development Framework, which tells us about where all the different zones are. We've got the different zones within the original town centre strategy, but we want people like the local authority to actually start looking at street design parts for the street furniture, so actually Hillsborough starts to upgrade and look a better place, look the kind of place that actually people would want to come and shop in the 21st century. We want to see investment by using things like Section 106 money, which some people in the room will be familiar with, others may not. Section 106 money is money that's brought in through planning game when people are building houses and various facilities might get lost, green space, etc., etc. 106 money we want to see invested back into Hillsborough to actually help upgrade the fabric of Hillsborough and what that actually starts to look like. We want to see thought about key